This video is part of a series that follows the development of The Village, a community-centered program created for the youth of New York City. In this video, we will talk to psychotherapy and advocacy worker Rita Abadi, psychologist Daniel Sokol, and brother Sean Moffett about positive youth development.
So I think at its most simplest form, it's about the shift in program development and the shift in treatment of youth that took away pathologizing and problematizing them and looked at the aspects and components of their life that had inherent value and room for growth. So, historically, we would say this person has this disorder, this is permanent, it's characterological, that's that. And when positive youth development started evolving, it was really about shifting the perspective of the inherent value of the individual and the individual's capacity to be part of something. I mean, that developmentally is a total shift from, a sense of usefulness and value in the world to a sense of a historical context of being devalued or made a caricature of, like that there's this ailment and that's that, or you're, a delinquent or throwaway youth, or on your own, and all the perspectives and the implicit biases that come with that. This is basically saying there's a human being behind that, and there's inherent value that can be shown. It just needs to be seen. It just needs to be given the opportunity to do so.
Kids get disconnected from work, employment, or school at an early age for many different reasons. It's multifactorial, but there are a few things that seems to be in common. One of the problems is that they lost interest in the school system because what is being provided to them is very foreign to their daily experience. It seems very disconnected from their needs and from their interests, because it's difficult and so distant from you, you miss 1 or 2 days, but then by missing this 1 or 2 days, what is happening in school become even more foreigner to you. So they get out and they might try to look into the work world, where they are going to find only very, very low paid jobs, and where, there won't be any kind of creativity or anything in their jobs. So also it's very not interesting. And so it also disconnects them from this part of their life. And the fact that they are going to be surviving on minimum wage when they look for jobs is going to perpetuate the issue on poverty. And, it's going to repeat the same process and history where they are going to be on low income jobs and raising families on a very low income. So what you're going to see is that the consequences are going to be multi-generational. You have the problem of poverty in one generation that might repeat in the next and the next and the next. But also, on the other hand, it's important to understand, for example, in New York is the largest school system. So it's not an easy task dealing with 1 million kids at the same time. One of the things that we are going to see is that the more the environment where they are is violent, the more they are going to be disconnecting from the systems. The more there is issues on mental health, the more they are going to be disconnecting. So it's lots and lots of, environmental, family, and personal issues that are coming into place to be part of this process of disconnecting kids from school or youth work.
It all begins with really believing that the youngster has a special giftedness. And what we do in our work is create a context within which the youngster is enabled and stimulated to realize whatever that potential is. And that provides space and eventually time for youngsters to realize who they are and what their talents are and to use them properly. Now, for that to happen, you need people who, first of all, share this philosophy, share this belief that the young people that they work with are already capable and gifted. It's a challenge to get them away from, I've got all this good stuff that I learned in college and I want to give it to the youngsters. No, it's more about, I've learned how to listen, to attend, to encourage, and to affirm. Everything I've said so far fits under the one word, agency. Agency has to do with that power within the individual to realize the self, to create the self, to become. The becoming of who I am, my identity, is based in part on what I gradually start to belong to. In inviting youngsters into the village, the hope would be that they encounter a welcoming community. Now, encountering a welcoming community, it's not only cider and donuts. It's a community that respects me and is asking me to contribute to it. A village also speaks to the concept of belonging. Belonging has to do with, first of all, being accepted. So it is the cider and donuts and the welcome and a name tag and everything else that goes along with that. The second thing is participation. We have to get them participating, doing whatever it is that members of this village do. The third thing we're hoping for, and that's called engagement, where the doing of the thing becomes natural to them and they're excited about it, because that's what you do if you're at the village. You're a part of this and you want others to be doing it too. And that's where we drift into something called ownership or proprietorship, where it's clearly their village. They understand this is our village. And if you listen to the pronouns that they're using as time goes on, you'll find out whether that's working. That's what you're looking for, because they are the ones who will create the real village. The real village will be created once youngsters are doing the welcoming, encouraging the participation. So we're not in the business of fixing or making better. We're in the business of creating a space where the very natural giftedness, God-given giftedness of each youngster can come to fruition.
This video was produced by Equity for Children and A Chance in Life. If you want to learn more about us or collaborate in any of our projects, don't hesitate to reach out. You can also follow us on social media. Thank you for watching.